Haven't already, please subscribe. Like the video if this video has brought you content that you can use in your own life. And go ahead and comment, introduce yourself, man. I don't know y'all if you haven't commented. And when you guys comment, that sincerely makes my day. All the video editing that I have from here forward is going out to THCpub. Go follow him on YouTube. His YouTube username is THCpub. He's the one that's been editing my videos. I actually hired him off the comment section because he commented on my videos. Long story short, he's looking to get into Prime and go through the trucking school and all that. So we connected, and yeah, now we're friends, man. It's he honestly feels like a brother to me, and that's just like one of the things that YouTube can do to you, man. If you make your own YouTube channel and kind of get your word out, your life story or whatever, you can meet people like I have, man. Like, he's a cool ass dude. He's been editing. He edited my last video. We talk nearly every day, so shout out to him. Go follow him again. His username is THCpub. P-U-B. THCpub. That's his username on YouTube. Go follow him right now. So long story short, guys, the paving right now it's pretty damn slow. So I left out of there. I got my own apartment here in Concord, North Carolina. Now it seems like I'm going to transition back into being a garbage man. That's the most consistent work through anything, is being a garbage man or being an overload truck driver during these unprecedented times that we really don't know what's going on with the stock market, with this and that. One thing is for sure, you're always going to have to pick up garbage. The thing is that I've been hesitating to get back into it is because the job kind of sucks. It's stinky, all this. So I really think that it's God testing me, seeing how bad I want it. You know what I mean? How bad do I want that house? How bad do I want that business? Because this is like a steady way to make money, to save money. And if you're looking for a job, get into the garbage business, man. If you really need a job and you've been struggling to get a job, get in the garbage business. And yeah, that's the most stable job you can get in these times. Okay, another thing I want to teach y'all, or just touch on, something that I've been real sensitive about until now, really, until like I realized what I needed to do. It's not that hard. I've always had like this stipulation that building credit is like something only rich people do, you know what I mean? But when really building your credit, man, I wish I knew this earlier in life. I really wish I knew this earlier in life, or I didn't pay attention maybe. I'm not really sure, but building credit is like, when keeping consistently good credit, which is not hard to do, is like the best thing you can do for yourself, man. Because if I had just not, if I had just gotten one credit card or just gotten a couple and paid them all off and not been an asshole and like overdrew them and didn't make the payments, you know what I mean? Because when I got a credit card, I used it as like, oh, unlimited money, you know what I mean? Like, let's go to the bar, let's buy this, let's buy that. When really you don't want to do that, man. That's not what credit is. Credit is just, you get a credit card, you do it responsibly. It's just like your job history, or just like your history, man. Like, it's history written down for others to see. So when it's time to buy the house, you have a credit score, and your credit score needs to be, about 650, 620, 650. Anything more than that is like real good. Right now I'm building mine. Mine's at 560 right now, which isn't horrible, but it is bad because I can't even qualify for a house loan. You know what I mean? So I'm building that. I think within like 3 to 12 months I'll have it down, because I'm going to be working with a credit repair specialist, and she's going to help me build my credit back up to where it needs to be so I can qualify for a loan. You know what I mean? These are important things you need to do if you're living in America. If you're younger than me, hopefully you are younger than me and you're taking this in, because it's super important. Just study up on your credit, man. Like, if you don't have a credit card, or or you're looking at getting a credit card, or you do have a credit card, don't be afraid, man. Just look into that credit, dig deep into it, and you won't regret it, man, because this is the shit that how do you think people buy shit? You know what I mean? Like, it's on credit. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it's on credit. Unless you have a bunch of money, you can't just go buy a fucking Hummer. You can't just go buy a big pickup truck. People are making monthly payments because they don't have $100,000 to go buy a new pickup truck, but they have the credit to tell the company to tell the bank that they're reliable enough to pay back that $100,000. They can pay back that $100,000 in 5 years, and if I'm the bank, I can make $20,000 off it or $30,000 off it, because really that $100,000 with the APR and the percentage they're gonna take from you. Say if you have a loan and you got to pay 22% or 15% or 5%. So 5% on $100,000, that's what, $5,000 right there. You know, so you're gonna be paying a little extra because they're loaning you the money. So if you're young and you're watching this, I really hope you get that, man, because credit is super important, man. Credit is everything. It's freaking everything, because you can buy a house. Say you buy a house, you got good credit. I'm not a professional at this yet, but I'm just teaching what I've learned these past days that I wish I fucking knew years ago, and how easy it is to build your credit if you're consistent, man. If you're consistent, because you can buy a house. Say, let's just do an example, $100,000 house, right? That's not much. It's probably, you know, depending on where you live, that's not too much. So $100,000 house. If they ask for 5% down of $100,000, that's $5,000, and then you can buy your own house for $5,000, and then the mortgage payments, and then obviously the utilities and all that. But so for $5,000 down, if you save up $5,000 for your house, and then you make enough to make that mortgage, say it's $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, and you're making $4,000 a month, you can go ahead and pay that off while you work, and then you have a house. Even if you don't live in that house, go ahead and look into investing in property like that. Just a house that, say you buy a house that's $100,000, and then it's projected to be worth $150,000 in 10 years. To me, that's worth it, man. You can buy that house if you don't live in it right away. If you can't afford to, say, furnish it right away, then don't furnish it right away. Take your time with it. Then when you have the time, furnish it, fix it up how you want to. Then eventually you can go ahead and rent it out Airbnb style. You know what I mean? Airbnb, 1 room or 2 rooms or whatever you can afford. Then that Airbnb will take care of the mortgage. Plus that Airbnb will give you more money that you can either profit or put it right back into the house to make the house worth more. And yeah, that's the hustle of people like us that are buying their own house. Maybe you want to still live with your mom and dad, or maybe you want to rent your own place because you like it there. You know what I mean? But if you can afford to buy that house, it's better than just having your money sit there. In my opinion, I could be completely wrong, and this wouldn't work if the house market crashed again. You know what I mean? But that's the risk, man. That's the risk of doing this. It's either, you know, you risk doing this, or you don't risk anything and you just let your money sit there in the bank and not make any money. So I just wanted to tell you guys this, because I believe once you learn something and you can implement it in your own life, you ought to just teach the world it, man, and or teach somebody else it. And this is like teaching the world what I just learned. And I hope somebody really gets it, man, because if they get this, then they'll be doing all right. You can also look into stocks. See, I'm not a professional at stocks, so don't exactly question me, you know what I mean? But like, I want you to study it. And then if you study it and you know some shit about it, drop it in the comments down below. You know what I mean? That'd be cool, because I'm learning. Everybody else on this channel is learning. And what I get from the stock market is there's 2 ways of investing, to my knowledge. Maybe there's more. But there's one way, day trading, which can work I think it works if you have a bunch of money to invest real quick and then take it out real quick. Because say, like the other day, I made $1.50 on Tesla, right? And that was off $100. So I made $1.50. So I made what, 1%? That's $100, and you're gonna make 1%. That's $1 profit if you pulled it out real quick once you make the profit. and then it goes up. If you invest $1,000, it's $10 in one day. $10,000, that'd be $100 off that 1%. And then if you have like $100,000, then you'd make $1,000 within a minute, or whenever it goes up, you make that money, you pull it out. That's day trading. So ideally, you want to, if you have 100 grand to play with, and then say if it bumps up 3% in a couple minutes, then you have 3 grand. Or if it bumps up 3% while you have 10 grand in there, then you have $300 to take out. But in my take, you want to invest in a company that's going to keep growing over the year, or over some time, you know, like Nike. Look at Nike's history on the stock market page. It's always going up. Since it started, it always goes up. Maybe some years it dips down, but it's always steady going up. So if you buy a share now, in a couple years, the share is going to be worth more. You know what I mean? It's just like the housing market. I think the housing market and the stock market are right together, you know, out of my research. So it's just interesting shit, man. It makes me think of money differently. You know what I mean? Because say I win $1,000 or I get $1,000 in a week. Say you make $4 grand a month, right? And then your idea is to put $1,000 for rent. This is my model about how to pay rent and how to save money. It's a pretty good model if you can stay consistent. This is how you get ahead. So you make $4,000 a month, right? So $4,000 a month, $1,000 for rent. And then calculate your food expense, which is probably $500 a month if you do it smart and you don't eat out, buy a lot of rice and shit like that. So $500, so that's $1,500 right there. You have to spend. Bottom line, you have to spend $1,500 on yourself every month, and then so that other $2,500, right? Yeah, $2,500. So what if you put $500 every month into Nike, and then that other $2 grand, put $500 into clothing and all that? So that leaves you with $1,500. If you invest $500 a month in the stock market, that leaves you with $1,500 to put in your bank account every month to let it sit there, or, you know, so that money I would do for like your down payment for a house or something like that. Or if you're saving up for a car, that $1,500 a month you're saving up for a car with. You know, you can do this with any type of money you're making. I don't care if you're making $600 a week or if you're making $2 grand a week, because if you don't have a plan for your money, then your money's going to be spent. In my opinion, it's going to be fucking spent before you even make it. Because everybody has a plan what to do with their money, right? So you have to plan to coordinate to save it, or just like this, 500 of that's going to Nike automatically, 500 of that's going to Apple automatically. So that way you're building up your money into stocks. You know what I mean? So you're actually making money off the money that you made. So you're making your money work for you. That's the goal. So I'm really learning how to do this. I really wish I took it in like earlier, really once I started working, because it's going to make you think of money way differently than you ever have before once you dig into real estate, once you dig into stock market stuff. You know, reach out to people that do this shit, man. That's the best way to learn, or, you know, read some books about it, or do your research, do YouTube channels, you know. That's honestly the best way to do it. And if you have any information for me to learn, comment down below. And if you haven't introduced yourself already and you subscribe to my channel, comment down below. Love y'all. And if you need an editor, remember Pub THC, Pub THC. Hit him up. He'll probably comment down below. And love y'all. Hope y'all are doing great. And comment down below and subscribe, please. Love y'all. Peace.